right, it's party time. I'm here at one of the many shindigs going on around the country to celebrate the launch of the PlayStation 2 computer entertainment system. And to help kick things off, we decided to split up this issue of the magazine. Disc 1 will have all the usual cool stuff that you can play on your PlayStation, but Disc 2 is all DVD, baby. You know what that means. You'll need a PlayStation 2 to play the second disc. You're going to have to scour the countryside for one, because these things are flying off the shelves.
It's not nice to gloat, Maggie, just because you've got one already.
And soon, so will everyone else. Okay, so on Disc 1, we headed up to Montreal to hang out with the developers of the new Grinch game. Then we partied on at some of the biggest PlayStation 2 launch celebrations.
Must have been a tough couple months for you.
Hey now, I can only deal with one Grinch per disc.
Yeah, very funny. So, do you want to check out our first PlayStation 2 DVD disc?
Well, it's about time. See you on Disc 2.
Well, here we are. PlayStation Underground's fourth issue of its fourth volume, released in December 2000. The PlayStation 2 had finally been released, and Underground was there to show footage of the event and even give us some of the first PlayStation 2 demos. Yes, that's right. Disc 1 was still for the PS1, but Disc 2 was now a PlayStation 2 disc, with demos for the brand new console, making for a very intriguing issue indeed. So let's start off as always on Disc 1, and see what they've got in store for us. It's Cool Moves, where we learn tips and tricks for various games. First we learn how to unlock a chest on Legend of Dragoon.
Here we go. In the Phantom ship, there is a chest that says evil may come to the person who attempts to open the treasure chest. There's a combination lock on this chest. To get the combination, leave the room where the treasure chest is. Go down to the lower right-hand corner of the screen, and then make your way over to the staircase that leads down to the lower deck of the ship. In the lower deck of the ship, you'll find a hallway filled with ghosts and several doorways you can enter. You must fight your way through the ghosts in the hallway to get to the door all the way in the far right-hand side of the hallway. Once you get into the room at the end of the hall, make your way into the upper right-hand corner of the room, where there's a small sparkling bit on the floor. Press the X button to inspect this, and you'll be visited by 4 ghosts. Each ghost will tell you a different number. Take note of these numbers. For 3 of these 4 numbers are the solution to the combination. Now that you're equipped with the clues that'll help you solve the combination lock, make your way back through the hallway to the upper deck of the ship. The first time you attempt to open this chest, you'll get 10 tries. If you're unsuccessful in choosing the combination within 10 tries, the chest will lock up on you, and you'll have to go get new clues from the ghosts in the lower deck. Using the numbers that the ghosts in the lower deck of the ship told you, rearrange the numbers until you find the correct combination. Whenever you input the incorrect combination, you might see 3 dots appear on screen afterwards. This indicates that one or more of the numbers you chose was the correct number and was in the correct position for the combination. This will help you know you're on the right track when you're trying to figure out the combination. And that's how to open the combination chest inside the Phantom ship on Legend of Dragoon. You can repeat this up to 6 times, but each time you do, the chest will reset, which means you'll have to go below decks and get new clues from the ghosts. You'll also get fewer and fewer times to input the numbers before the combination resets each time. Good luck!
Next, learn how to get to a secret area in Spyro 3.
This week, we'll look into Spyro, Year of the Dragon. I'm going to show you how to get on top of the temple in Frozen Altars. Make your way from the beginning of the level, up this staircase, and around this corner, where you'll come to a ledge you can glide from. From here, you can glide onto the temple. Just line yourself up on this corner, with the corner of the temple in view, then charge over the edge, jump, glide, and flutter at the end to get on top of the temple wall. From here, you can make your way to the top of the temple, or you can glide to another egg, and that's how it's done.
In Siphon Filter 2, learn how to get through a tricky vent section.
Expo Center in the game Siphon Filter 2. Now the troubling part is getting through the ventilation shaft immediately following the second checkpoint without alerting the guards nearby. I'm going to show you how it's done. Starting here immediately after you acquire your second checkpoint, you want to climb up into the ventilation shaft and then follow it as it winds around the many different corners. What we're looking for here is the 3 ventilation grates. What we want to concentrate on is the second or the middle ventilation grate. That's where we'll get a clear view of the GI. Once again, not this ventilation grate, that's the first one, but the second one, which is right here. First thing we need to do is go ahead and shoot out the ventilation grate with our pistol. Okay, then you see a GI right down there. Now we need to go in and equip our crossbow because it uses tranquilizer darts. It's very important that we do not kill the GI because that will fail the mission. We do not want to shoot the GI in the head because that will also kill the guard, which once again we do not want to do. Shoot him anywhere else on the body with your crossbow. That'll take him out. And you want to continue down through the ventilation shaft until you reach the final grating. Switch back to your 9mm pistol, shoot that out, and then drop down to the floor below. And that's how you get through the ventilation shaft without alerting all the GIs.
Continuing the Siphon Filter 2, find out how to get to another secret section.
Level for Siphon Filter 2. What you want to do here is come up onto this fan. Make sure you select a powerful weapon with enough ammo. You have a couple of guards up here that you're going to want to take out. Go ahead and take them easily out with headshots. Have one there on the level, the rooftop that you're on, and the one below. Pick up any flak jackets and ammo that they have. Then come over here to this ledge on top of the roof. Turn around and drop down below. And use your L1 button to see an awning down below that says Clean Rooms, Low Rates. Drop down to that area there, and this will get you down in the street area in the New York slums level, so you can go ahead and continue on. And that's how it's done.
Finally, learn how to solve another one of Wild Arm 2's puzzles.
The Norse God puzzle in the Spiral Tower for Wild Arms 2. Let me show you how it's done. First of all, when you come to this room, you'll notice that there are 7 plates. You must hit these 7 plates in a certain order in order to open up the door to the next room. The first plate that you want to activate will be this one right here, the one that talks about the mother's face. The second plate you want to hit will be this one over here, the one that talks about 2. The third plate you want to hit is going to be this one. Here's where you're going to want to press the 4th plate. Here's the 5th plate. The 6th plate. And lastly, the 7th plate. And as you can see, that will open up the door. And that's how it's done.
In the download station, we get some more downloadable saves. There's saves for Ultimate Fighting Championship, unlocking all characters. Incredible Crisis, unlocking all the minigames. Jungle Book Rhythm and Groove, unlocking all levels. And The World Is Not Enough, also unlocking all levels. Over in the Event Center section, we join the ever-growing queues as people line up for the release of the PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2, it's on everyone's mind these days, and leading us into its North American launch, the excitement and anticipation surrounding it is starting to blow a few minds.
Man, the graphics graphics is outstanding out here. I'm loving it.
The graphics is sweet, especially on that fighting one down there.
Controllability of the games are unbelievable. I mean, it's very smooth.
Smooth, it's fast, and it makes for a more real-life playing experience.
It's pretty close to cinematic quality. It's unbelievable.
There were a lot of parties being planned to celebrate the arrival of the PlayStation 2. Since we've never been known to miss out on free food and drink, we flew down to LA for what turned out to be a rather raucous rave.
Oh man, this is beautiful. As you can see here, we got hundreds of kids having fun playing PlayStation 2, dancing in the unison of, the music. This is, I think, what, the urban culture, they play video games, they listen to music, they go to raves.
All the kids here, they play video games, And you go to a rave, you play a video game, you go play a video game, you dance when you win. Same difference, It's all good.
Dancing in video games. What better life is that?
This was definitely a rave to remember. Some people were dancing up a storm out on the floor, and some were creating another type of storm playing video games. We were interested in what their favorite games were.
Tekken is my favorite game. It's really intricate fighting, and the styles of the fighting is just great,
I think Ridge Racer 5 looks great, finally realized as it should be. Vanavision's actually really good too, which I'm kind of glad they did something to show off the power. Great demonstration of its lighting and particle effects.
I like the football one over there in the bar area, the 21 and up area. The football one has nice graphics. You got the people on the sideline chilling. You see them drinking their Gatorade while they're playing, and how can you get any realer?
The following week, we were off to the Metreon in San Francisco. That's where Sony Computer Entertainment was celebrating in style. Of course, when it came to having an opinion on which games were the best, these folks needed no prompting.
The favorite thing, obviously, has been Madden 2001. It's just been great. I mean, everything from the realism of the rain scene, I think is totally cool. And then I love watching, the fact that they're breathing in the rain through the field. So, and then not only do you get to play football, but you get to actually feel like you're there.
The Tekken Tag tournament is pretty unbelievable.
Well, my favorite game was SSX, snowboarding game. I thought the visual effects were really great. The graphics was awesome.
Carmen, Sony rules. Just remember this.
Before you could say honey roasted peanuts, we were back on another plane headed for LA. With no invitation in sight, we made a feeble attempt to crash a star-studded Hollywood party. Luckily, we knew someone on the guest list who was able to sneak us in. Now, we may have been starstruck, but Maggie did manage to strike up some conversations.
I'm a huge PlayStation fan. I've been waiting for this day. I'm gonna cry right now. I think I'm gonna cry. I'm a huge fan. Oh, I'm having a blast. I mean, there's music, food, and PlayStation. It's pretty much a guy's heaven. I think I can pretty much quit my TV show and just sit up here on the roof and play.
Maggie, the epitome of the inquiring mind, just had to know if Wayne was going to subscribe to the PlayStation Underground.
Now that I know the PlayStation Underground is around, I'll be there. I'll definitely be there. Can I get codes and tips and whatnot?
Oh, yeah.
Then I'll do it. Because when I can't beat it, I just cheat. It's sad but true.
Even though we were wiped out from our trips, we were brimming with confidence that the PlayStation 2 launch would be a huge success. Why? Because of the word on the street.
Actually, I already got one reserved for the day it comes out.
Most definitely. I already have mine pre-ordered.
Yeah, definitely. The 26th, I'll be either camping or I'll be knocking doors to get one.
Thought would be like a perfect birthday present for me because today's my birthday.
And I'm definitely going to go buy me one right when it comes out. It's on my Christmas list.
I'm hoping to get 2.
Can't wait for them to come out. I'm gonna get like 6 of them.
Now for the behind the scenes section, where we learn all about the development of the Grinch PS1 game.
This year, the Who's will pay. It's beginning to look a lot like holiday time. We thought you'd like a special treat, a story all in rhyme. Today we'll give you a backstage look, an update of that classic book. You've heard about the movie New. Now the Grinch is a video game too.
Universal approached us in summer '99 with concept The Grinch, which was a video game based on a movie to be released in November 2000.
But I think The Grinch is a great character because it allowed us to reverse the perspective that a gamer has, usually, which is be a good guy. In the Grinch, you are a bad guy that can't stand love.
We tried as much as we could to mimic what Jim Carrey would do in the movie. And so basically what we did is we brought that back and then we used that as a reference for the animation for the Grinch.
It would seem to be a cinch that all would know about the Grinch. Alas, it is not true. They were French-Canadian and hadn't a clue.
At first it was like, who is the Grinch? I didn't really know. So we got the actual cartoon that was made, and through the internet, looking at references, books, these were really the references we had for the Grinch. If I knew him before, it would be probably one of my idols, because the Grinch, he's so funny. Everybody has a little bit of the Grinch inside.
The Grinch's mission was most foul. When he heard those whoos, oh, how he'd howl. So as the tale goes, he set out to see if he might steal Christmas away that same Christmas night.
I'd say the game departs from the movie as soon as we get out of Whoville. What we've done is we've created environments that didn't exist in the story. As soon as you get out of Whoville, you go to Who Forest, Who Lake, you go to the dump.
In order to keep joy from the Who's, the Grinch stops at nothing to make certain they lose. What kind of tricks and what kind of toys will this Grinch use to scare Who girls and Who boys?
What we really wanted with the gadgets in the game, we wanted to give the player the feeling that they were actually building them. So what we did is we scattered blueprints of the gadgets throughout the levels. And the player can't just use a gadget, it's not like the gadget is just floating around. You have to find the blueprints, go back to your computer machine in the Grinch cave, where everything is starting, and then build up the gadget just much like a puzzle, I'd say. You're just moving the pieces together until you fit them in place, and then the gadget is activated. I'd say for me, one of the best, I think, is the rotten egg shooter. Just the idea of shooting rotten eggs, I thought were pretty funny. So green egg, I should say, but the green egg launcher I thought was an interesting weapon to use. Just throwing eggs in people's window and see them running because it smells so bad. I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, Grinch! The Grinch is really fiendishly crude. He likes to be rotten, nasty, and rude. But can this new game hope to cause such fear? The answer is quite devilishly clear. The Who's will cringe and quiver and hide as the gamers give in to their Grinchier side.
Time for a facelift, Mr. Mayor.
The interesting thing about the tricks in the Grinch was that we needed to use the tricks and put that in a video game format. So we had to think about tricks that could be played, and with a controller.
Over in the vault, we've got some demos to try. The first is for Cool Borders 2001, the only game in the series that wasn't released outside of North America. This might possibly be because the game received middling review scores, most likely because it was competing with SSX at the time. So to you hardcore Cool Borders fans, sorry, but SSX won that competition. You can try out a single course in this demo. Take to the streets in a GTA killer demo for Driver 2. Gameplay is similar to the previous Driver game, with new features, including the ability to step out of the car and walk around on foot. There's also a mode called Take a Ride, which is a free drive mode, allowing you to explore the cities in your own time. Not only that, but there's also a 2-player split screen option. With all that and 4 huge cities to explore, Driver 2 has hours upon hours of driving action to enjoy. Despite this, review scores at release were merely average, with many complaints being raised by the numerous technical difficulties, including a short draw distance and choppy frame rate. The game still sold well, even becoming part of greatest hits. The demo gives you a chase mission. Okay. Here's the demo for Mort the Chicken. In an alternate universe where chickens are the dominant species, the world is invaded by psychedelic cube things who kidnap all the baby chicks. So Mort here decides to go after them. Trust me, that's the best way I could figure out how to make the story of this game make sense. The gameplay itself is a simple platformer, where players control Mort and have him wander around, collecting the baby chicks and leading them to the well where Mort began the level from. Besides some basic power-ups and chicken seed to restore health, there really isn't much else to this game. In fact, it scored quite poorly with reviews at release. So if you're the sort of person who enjoys playing really bad games, maybe give this one a look. For everyone else, stay away. Next we have the demo for Star Wars Demolition. This vehicular combat game is basically Vigilante 8 with a Star Wars theme. Pick a recognizable vehicle from the Star Wars franchise and destroy all your opponents in one of several arenas. Sounds like it could be fun, and it is, although review scores at release were mixed at best. Many critics did enjoy the gameplay, however many agree that there wasn't enough of it to warrant playing for very long. So while this game isn't the worst Star Wars game, it is best played in short bursts.
Sixty seconds.
Welcome. How many people will be playing today? One person playing with himself. Fine.
Finally, we have the demo for You Don't Know Jack Mach 2. Part of the long-running You Don't Know Jack series, this extravagant pub trivia game stands out very well by not only making you think outside the box with some of these questions, but also by going full force with the presentation and humour. With support for up to 3 players, compete to get the most money by answering questions correctly, culminating in a Jack Attack round. Each series of questions will follow a theme of some kind. I don't own this game myself, but I do own the PC games, which are similar and just as fun to play. and kept the presentation, charm and humour even in their modern games. Definitely one to get if you like trivia games. The demo gives you a quick 7-question round.
Okay. What's the 1988 album by the Talking Heads? Or, what's the 1993 movie directed by Mike Lee? Or, what's the 1996 book of stories by David Sedaris? Nude, naked, stripped, or bare? Go for it! Okay, I guess you're one of those people who aren't really into movies, books, or music very much, huh? You know, I'm starting to think you might still have your clothes on, because if you didn't, you might have been reminded of this. The answer to each of those questions is naked. And if I may be allowed a brief moment of self-promotion, Naked is also the title of my memoir, which will be hitting the shelves just in time for the holidays. When you think Schmitty, think stocking stuffer. The category's gonna be a place not in France where the naked ladies dance. I'm gonna make this one $1,000. Here's the question. Suppose you go to a Gaza strip club. What type of currency should you stuff into the stripper's G-strings? Jordanian dinars, British pounds, Israeli new shekels, or Turkish lira? It's yours if you want it. Yep, the strippers won't accept dinars. Unless they've got a currency exchange tucked away down there somewhere. Here's the one the winners pick. The Gaza Strip technically belongs to Israel. And I'll tell you, those clubs are great. There are no rules. The women take off everything. Well, except for their veils. Some religious reason or something, I don't know. I'm calling this one what Ms. Jackson really means by control. Get this one right, you get $1,000. All right, give me your best shot. Suppose Janet Jackson's famous Rolling Stone cover photo starts a fashion trend. How would the Janet Jackson bra be advertised? Supports, lifts, comes attached to a man. Cushions, protects, sings like a canary. Enhances, separates, plays fetch, or cups, firms, keeps coffee hot. Take it, it's yours. On her famous Rolling Stone cover, Janet's got a guy behind her with his hands on her breasts. And you know what? I'm thinking that guy got paid to do that. Yeah, and people think models are stupid. This one's called No Shirt, No Shoes, No Pants. You get it right, I'm putting you up $2,000. Put it in gear, 'cause here we go. Given what school the infamous naked guy attended, where might the other students take extra time wiping the desk chairs before sitting down? Massachusetts Institute of Technology, University of Wisconsin, Madison, University of California, Berkeley, or University of Notre Dame? Go on, do it! The student who made himself famous a few years back for walking around campus in the buff went to UC Berkeley. Although I don't think he was ever totally naked. I seem to remember reading that he always wore a veil. Religious reasons or something, I don't know.
Welcome to the Jack Attack. When you see 2 words on the screen that match, hit your buzzer. If you're right, I'll give you $2,000. If you're wrong, you're going down 2,000. But don't forget, remember the clue. Not any old word's gonna do it. It's gotta be a match that fits this clue. Nothing beats a little T&A. At least that's always been my philosophy at the video store. And on that note...
game. Wow, that victory was so strong it evoked memories of, well, not much, because it wasn't that strong. But here's some strong words for you.
You don't know Jack!
The last thing on Disc 1 is the Bulletin, where we can find all sorts of miscellaneous info, such as PlayStation Online, all the secrets from the previous issue, player comments, merchandise, and more. So, before we head over to Disc 2, I'd like to point out that if you would like to help support this channel, you can now join the channel and become a member. Use the link in the description or any of the join buttons on any of the videos or channel homepage. For as little as $1 a month, you can get your name in these videos, see new videos a week early, gain access to exclusive benefits in the Discord, download special wallpapers for your various devices based on many of my videos, determine what video I should be making next, and even get access to the ROM files for any demo disc you've seen me cover. However you decide to support my channel, I greatly appreciate it. Okay, time to break out the PS2 for Disc 2.
Wow, that was so cool. Check out the architecture. This thing is awesome.
That's our new interface control system, completely redesigned for the PlayStation 2.
Extremely cool. I love the new Neo Tech look.
Yeah, Maggie, why don't you tell the viewers what we have in store for them?
Alrighty then, the team from Tecmo dropped by to give us a taste of their new DOA 2 hardcore game.
Oh, and Maggie, don't forget about our trip up to LucasArts to check out the new Starfighter game.
Okay, who's the host here, you or me?
Sorry.
We also have cool moves, downloads, and all the other stuff you've come to expect from the PlayStation Underground, so check it out! Okay, I'm gonna float around here a while checking out all the new PlayStation 2 stuff. See you on the inside!
Welcome to Disc 2, and the first Underground disc for the PS2. The format is the same as Disc 1, so let's take a look. Cool Moves PS2 Edition. Let's learn a handy tip for Madden NFL 2001.
Technique called the Madden misdirection run, and here's how you do it. First of all, pick a good running play. I usually like to choose a halfback toss or sweep. That's going to allow my running back to run far and wide to the outside. When you see the defender coming at you, draw him in one direction, and the last second, cut back the other way down the sideline for a big gain. The defense has a hard time with any sudden moves in direction. You do this move over and over again, you'll get at least 300 to 400 yards per game.
In the movies section, we come across several videos. The first is all about Star Wars Starfighter.
If you're as into the Star Wars movies as we are, you've probably daydreamed once or twice about being part of an epic space battle. Well, thanks to the team at LucasArts, that daydream is now virtually a reality. They've created Starfighter, the flight combat game that lets you star as the pilot of your very own starfighter from Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. But don't forget to strap yourself in. Starfighter is being powered by the PlayStation 2 and an incredible storyline.
Just a blockade. There's a full-scale invasion going on.
We start off a little bit before Episode 1, Phantom Menace starts. And we kind of follow a parallel storyline that's behind the scenes, kind of.
The story is about three characters, Reese, Vanna, and Nim. These are three characters who don't know each other. Reese is a Naboo fighter pilot who's training. Nim is a pirate. And Vanna is a mercenary out for hire. And these are characters who, if they know each other, it's only loosely. And in fact, Nim and Vanna are kind of semi-enemies.
Think you can flank the Vanna Sage? Yeah.
And each of these three characters has been wronged in some way or has been screwed over by the Trade Federation. Midway through the Starfighter game, after you've learned exactly what the Trade Federation has done to tick these guys off, the three characters, Vanna, Reese, and Nim, come together and in concert work to deal a little bit back at the Trade Federation.
What makes a video game great, besides awesome visuals, are fascinating characters and well-thought-out storylines. Starfighter not only has both, but it goes one step further and intertwines the stories of these three main characters.
We're approaching a training minefield. They'll give you a chance to familiarize yourself with your targeting system.
Second is a trailer for the 2001 Jim Carrey movie, The Grinch.
Open your eyes to a world unlike anything you've seen before.
It was too Grinch!
From director Ron Howard, Dr. Seuss's classic tale comes to life. Jim Carrey is the Grinch. Rated PG.
And the third talks about Dead or Alive 2.
From the producers of the Japanese PlayStation 2 game Dead or Alive 2 comes the all-new, all-American version DOA 2 Hardcore. It's got fearless fighters, way cool control, and scads of incredible women. Hey, keep your pants on, fellas, because it's time to hear from the game director, Tom Itagaki, on what makes this fighting game so sweet.
There are three things that make a fighting game great. First of all, we focus on the motion of the game. Secondly, we work on the playability or control. And thirdly, we think about what will feel the best when we play. The visual and sound are secondary. It doesn't matter how good it looks or how good it sounds if you don't have those three things: motion, control, and the good feeling. What I mean by motion is that it is not just the attacks, but is the entire movement of the character, from standing position to fighting. The stance of the character is quite important. No matter how good of an attack this particular character might have, if his stance does not look cool, you aren't getting the full benefit of the motion. Of course, the standing is one thing, but the attacks do need to look good. And when you get hit, you need to look like you're in pain. That relates to the good feeling that you get as a player.
There's a download station here too. We have saves for Tekken Tag Tournament and Wild Wild Racing.
the terrorists and save the president and his family. The police are returning fire. Please provide backup.
The demos here are found in the arcade section, and the first PS2 demo we're checking out is for Silent Scope. Based on the arcade game, this is obviously meant to be played with a gun peripheral. This is an on-rail shooter where you are tasked by the police to help rescue the US president and his family as they have been kidnapped by terrorists. A basic yet decent arcade port, this game helped scratch an itch in the PS2's early life for on-rails enthusiasts.
Watch out! The enemy is going to shoot! Take out all surviving sniper enemies from the roof! I've spotted an unidentified aircraft. Go to hell. Calm down. Calm down. Hurry up. Calm down. The end.
Next we have the demo for Madden NFL 2001. Being the first new Madden game on the PS2, the game has new graphics and physics, and new game modes. There's also a slew of teams to choose from, including the 2000 NFL season, European teams, and over 100 classic teams. For the first proper NFL game for the new console, this game did very well with the critics, with the game having lots to offer any football fan. Here we go, the demo for SSX, the snowboarding equivalent of what Tony Hawk is for skateboarding. Created by the designer of the Bordercross Olympic event, SSX is when PlayStation snowboarding games really took off. With a cast of colourful characters and several interesting and thrilling courses, the biggest gimmick this game has are the slew of insane tricks the boarders can perform. The tricks may be unrealistic, but they are fun to pull off and provide a real spectacle. The game was released to critical acclaim, with critics praising just about every aspect of the game. Definitely one for the collection, either SSX or one of its PS2 sequels.
The Get Boost. Let's pretend this never happened. $50-50 round combo.
Landed it.
Sailfish.
I'm the man.
You have run out of time.
How about the start of another popular series? This is the demo for Dynasty Warriors 2. Vastly different from the first Dynasty Warriors game, which was a simple one-on-one fighting game. This game brought about the familiar hack and slash genre the series is best known for today. The game takes place during the time of history when China was ruled over by 3 kingdoms. Players choose a kingdom and take control of a general, and are tasked with defeating as many generals in a large open level as they can, in an attempt to take over the area for their kingdom. Each level may have differing objectives depending on which side players fight for, but ultimately there will be a lot of combat. Speaking of which, the combat system is interesting, as each character has a basic combo system as one would expect, but there are also special moves that can be performed at any point during the combo. There is also the Muzao move, a powerful move that needs to be charged before it can be used. Reviews at release were decent, with many critics enjoying the real-time battles, but noting the game not being too deep. The demo gives you a 15-minute run of one of the levels.
We've arrived at the target area, commencing AC drop. System engaged.
Pilot a giant weaponized mech in the demo for Armored Core 2. Gameplay is largely identical to the first Armored Core, with missions taking place in open levels. Completing a mission rewards players with credits, which can be used to upgrade parts for the mech. Failing missions will cost credits. There's also the Arena, a special game mode where the player must fight their way to the top of a 50-person ranked ladder. Victories in the arena can also reward credits. Overall, this game was released to positive reviews, with the biggest complaints being the graphics and the difficulty spikes. check out the power of the PlayStation 2 with this animation that looks like the old VCD animations. Finally, we have a couple of previews to go over. The first is for Gran Turismo 3. The second is for Ready to Rumble Boxing Round 2.
Let's get ready to rumble!
All that was PlayStation Underground's 4th issue of its 4th volume. The final issue of PlayStation Underground. Or was it? We shall see. There may also have been hidden secrets on this issue, which we'll also check out some other time. If you'd like to check out earlier Underground issues, take a look at my playlist where I do just that. I've also covered plenty of other PlayStation demo discs, so go ahead and subscribe if you want to be kept in and on loop when I cover more. Join our Discord if you'd like to chat with me and other PlayStation enthusiasts. You'll find a link in the description, as well as the link to join the channel as a member for exclusive benefits. Thanks for watching. I'm the Advocate, always ready for a gaming sesh. Special thanks to channel member Dr. Antonio, first member of the Sentimental Silver rank.